And I'm gonna go upstairs and stream from another computer. Restream. Stream and restream.
Yeah, we had a few technical issues last week.
All right, things weren't kind of working.
Didn't quite work out the way we wanted it to. YouTube wasn't having problems, but it was sending it. The Facebook was working, and then I made it. Peter said something about talk to them on Facebook, or do the. I went to click on the message, but somehow I clicked on the mic or the volume rate.
Right.
It created this feedback, and
Oh my word.
hey, what about the mics?
Mute the mics.
Oh, how would you like
Oh,
to
we
mute the
actually done
mics? Yeah, sure.
We like.
There's a storm outside. I'm warm and dry.
All right. Now, do I have to hit the play button as well, Peter? All right. I guess we're live. We're live on Peter's dad's music, and we've got some great guests today. We have Mark and Karen Humpage, and they're here to play some music for us, and Peter's going to help them out, and we're just going to have a great time. And everything is going to go smooth. It's going to be
I don't
aces.
think they're gonna need our
So
help.
I'll hand over to, well, just hear what Peter has to say.
Yeah. Hi. I don't think they're gonna need my help. So I'm so happy to have Mark and Karen with me tonight. They're from Mission, and I usually try to have guests that are close by because they're actually here in my studio. So I'm here in Maple Ridge, and I'm also here on the traditional and unceded territory of the Katzie First Nation and the Kwantlen First Nation. Let's say hi to Karen and Mark.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Well, so welcome to Dad's Music. And you know that I mentioned this to you earlier, that whole reason why I call this Dad's Music is because when I was a kid, I listened to all the stuff that my dad plays on the turntable. And I still have a turntable because that's the way I listen to my album that's out on vinyl. So, I listened to these songs kind of all came back to me through the last couple of years, I guess. I used to play a lot of classic rock and stuff like that, but even classical. But and now I'm writing a lot of stuff that I listened to when I was a kid. So that's why it's called Dad's Music. And so one of my questions I have for my guests is, what inspired you guys, when you're writing songs? Because everybody comes to this program is they're songwriters, right? So songwriters are always inspired by something, and usually, what you listen to when you're really young is kind of have some sort of determination of the path you're kind of following. So tell me about the... I know there's two of you, so you're going to have to take turns.
Ladies first.
Oh, ladies first. Okay. Well, when I was younger, my mom was the one who listened to music all the time, and we would gather as a family. And Sunday evening, it was the usual, Perry Como, Lawrence Welk, the Disney Channel, Laugh-In, whatever else was going on. And my mom, despite those regular singers, which were wonderful to listen to, like the crooners are absolutely amazing, Frank Sinatra, all of those, my mom had a real weakness for Tom Jones. And there was a show that Tom Jones did with Janis Joplin one day, and that was it for me. I just kind of went, I want to sing like that. And that kind of led me down the path of the blues, Etta James, Ella Fitzgerald, Nina Simone, on all of those. And that's kind of where my songwriting first lens is to that. And then, of course, I met Mark, and now it goes in a completely different direction. So, your turn.
Right, my turn. Well, I think I grew up in a household that loved music. My dad was a big jazz fan. My mum was into people like Tom Jones and the Beatles and whoever the big hits, pop hits of the day were. But the real influences for me when I was at school were what was called the punk and the music that just followed into the early 80s and into going on to the 80s. So people like Sting, U2, a group called The Jam, those sort of people who had these great messages and epic sounding songs. So that was where a lot of my influences came from. My brother was into people like Led Zeppelin and Bowie, which also had a big influence on me as well. So I had a lot of influences from lots of different places.
Those I listened to a lot of those too.
Yeah.
Pretty much, the classic rock, Zeppelin, Police,
Yeah.
Supertramp.
Yeah.
Okay, so Well, it's maybe what we should do is start off with a song, and this is what we're all about. Playing
Well,
music.
If we're gonna start off to go somewhere, how about it's time to fly?
Ah, okay.
Looking out the window of this quiet little town, something has been holding me back and keeping me down, but I'm stepping out on a new path, headed for the future. Both feet on the ground, eyes wide open. It's time to fly. It's hard to let things go when you've been holding on so long. It's harder to say farewell and leave the past behind, but I'm stepping out on a new path, heading for the future. Both feet on the ground, eyes wide open. It's time to fly. Well, I can hear my dreams calling, they're filling me with hope. It's a chance to live my life and give it all I have, 'cause I'm stepping out on a new path, head for the future. Both feet on the ground, eyes wide open. It's time to fly. 'Cause I'm stepping out on a new path, head for the future. Both feet on the ground, eyes wide open. It's time to fly. Time to fly.
Time to fly.
Time to fly.
Time to fly.
Time to fly.
Time
It's time. Time to fly.
Oh, that was just awesome, and we got a couple replies. So it's
Yeah.
apparently it's working. So
Okay.
John says just beautiful, and
There you go.
PAX management again.
Hey, Jenny.
Jenny,
Hi,
Jenny saying beautiful song.
So,
Beautiful
okay,
harmony.
so
Thank you.
what inspired that song?
That song actually
Did you write
was.
that at the airport?
No.
Yeah, it's like, it's time to
Yeah,
fly.
it's time to fly. No, actually, that song came about just prior to us deciding that we wanted to take our music to another level. Up until 2018, we just did a lot of local shows. We didn't really go too many places, and we decided, well, if we're going to, you know, keep doing this, because we've been playing music for 40 years. We're old.
Just a couple of years.
Yeah, so we've had varying stages of, like, you know, lots of gigs and plays and whatever, and then so we just thought, no, we're going to make a real run of it. And so 2019 we decided to do a cross Canada tour. And that song was the lead song for that tour. That was the impetus that, you know, kicked us off and just said, no, it's time that we did something else other than just sitting around in our living room. And
so we drove across Canada.
Yeah, so we drove across Canada and played a bunch of shows. And
So it's perfect timing, because right after that, COVID hits and you can't go anywhere.
Yep, pretty
Yeah,
much.
after that.
Yeah.
Although COVID didn't slow us down, that because we did that tour across Canada in 2019, we had some momentum going, and people who were really interested in our music, and some radio stations that picked up our tunes, and you know, and now all of a sudden our music was being listened to in the UK. It was being listened to in the Caribbean. It's being listened to in Australia and New Zealand, and, you know, a couple of college stations in the States. And we thought, okay, well, we got to keep this going. And when COVID hit, we thought, well, when COVID hit in March, we'd already done 5 shows at the beginning of 2020, and we thought, no, we need to keep this momentum going somehow. So we did a concert series in 2020, an online concert series called "It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere." And what that was is we did a show every 2 weeks from May till the end of September. And we timed it so that the shows would take place at either 5 o'clock in Canada on a Sunday, or 5 o'clock in the UK on a Sunday, or 5 o'clock in New Zealand, which happened to be a Saturday night for us here in the Lower Mainland. But that way it was airing in the places that had the most people listening to our music. And so they got a show every 2 weeks for several months. And we did what's called our top 100 songs. So like Mark and I, we are prolific songwriters. We have, you know, something happens, we write a song about it. You know, like we'll go through the day and, oh, that would be great for a song. Oh, we're doing a practice and somebody will say something. Oh, that would be a good title for a song. Next thing you know, we've got a library and stacks of paper lying around with songs everywhere. So we went through our back catalog of songs, picked out what our 100 favorites were. And then over the course of that online concert series, we had new songs every show. There was no repeats at all in the entire series. And by the time we got to the last show in September, we did 101 original songs.
And the other interesting thing was that for each show, if it was an English show, we were doing shows that were written in the UK. If we were doing a New Zealand show, it was shows that were written in New Zealand. And if it was a Canadian show, we were doing shows that were written in Canada.
Songs, not shows.
Songs, yes.
Yeah, songs. So
Could have been shows.
Because like Mark was born in the UK,
Yeah.
and then he lived in New Zealand, and then I lived in New Zealand with him for a short time, and then we were both writing songs here. So between, so there's these 3 time periods where we had songs being written on 3 different continents, or countries. So that was also the focus of that as well.
So who wrote lyrics? Do you both write lyrics
Yes,
and melody, or
Yeah.
Yeah,
split that up?
usually it's one or the other, but there are a few songs where we kind of collaborated and done a little bit of a song each. But what always happens is that when the song is written, we work together, and if there needs to be little changes, then we kind of work on it together.
Yeah.
I usually do the musical arrangement,
Mark
not always.
usually does the musical arrangement,
Yeah.
and the bulk of the songwriting probably falls on my head.
Mm-hmm.
So
Certainly now, yeah.
yeah.
Perfect. So you're a perfect couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We think so. And it's funny because music is actually what brought us together.
Yeah.
So we had a mutual friend that introduced us, and we started talking to each other online about writing songs together. And at the time that we met in 2007, I was really sick with cancer, and wasn't entirely sure that I was still going to be here. Anyway, had my surgery. That's another whole long story. And Mark said to me, "Why don't you come and spend your recuperation in New Zealand?" And that sounded like a great idea. So, got in February. By the time, so I had the surgery in November of 2007, and then by the time I was fit to travel, after you go through treatments and everything else that you need to do, February 29th, leap year, it was called Taking a Leap of Faith. And I flew out of Canada and went to New Zealand, and I was only supposed to be there for a month, and I was there for 4.
So, now I'm just gonna back it up a little bit.
Yep.
He went to New Zealand. So did you know him before you went to New Zealand?
No,
Before I went to New Zealand, I'd never met him in person, no.
no, we met
Okay.
online.
No.
Oh, okay.
It was through a friend, but yes, we met online.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
We didn't meet physically until Karen County, New Zealand, and
yeah.
we
Yeah.
met at Christchurch Airport.
Hey, there's hope for me yet.
Nice, sure.
Yeah.
I meet a lot of women online, and that's about as far as it goes. But I got my fingers crossed
so-
somehow.
Yeah, that's so 2007
Yeah.
and
We've been together ever since.
yeah. So, well, I guess it's fate. It's just
Yeah.
that's how it all kind of works out. And the amazing thing is that you're still together. I mean,
Yeah.
you're successful, but you're still together. That's the
Yes.
amazing part. Because like usually when people have some success, split up and do their own thing.
We enjoy the successes and the ups and downs, and
Yeah, I think it actually lends itself to better songs and
Yeah.
better songwriting, because we have such a variety of experiences, and when we combine those together, it turns out there's always somebody in the audience that can say, "Oh, that's happened to me," or "Oh, there's a," and it's and it could be guy, girl, it's like whatever, but it's I mean, like we had our first experience last year doing a show in person, one of the first shows that we did going back to doing shows in person after COVID, and poor lady in the audience burst. We played that "Time to Fly" song, and she burst into tears. We've never had that happen before,
Wow.
and so she's
it just
crying.
resonated with her.
Yeah,
didn't
it just totally resonated with her, and then the next thing you know, her friends that are at her table with her, they're all crying, and we're just like, okay, did we sound that bad?
Did we-
Was
yeah.
were
Am
there
I out of tune?
cats scratching on the blackboard, like whatever? So we stopped the show actually to talk to her and just
So
say,
you were-
hey, like,
are we okay?
are you okay? Like, is that like? And then she explained, just how why the song resonated and stuff, and we were just so touched that somebody found that kind of impact and opening up of hope and possibility in their own life because it's something that we wrote, so which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I had that too. When people comes up and one of the songs kind of gave them inspiration and yeah, it's a real. There's so much satisfaction as an artist that you can touch someone.
Yeah.
What you wrote, what you created, had touched someone and they emotionally.
Yeah.
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 And she
Yeah.
gave them sort of, I thought, ability to reflect on their own lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any more stuff like that?
Oh. Well, I can play it like from back then. I can play we could sing the first song that I ever wrote for Mark. So
Oh.
This is going to be a surprise. Which one is this?
Okay,
What am I
this is
playing
good,
now?
this is good.
Firelight.
Firelight. Okay, right.
Yeah. This is the first song that I ever wrote for Mark. So. In the glow of the firelight, I see day turning into night. I see you lying next to me. The warmth of your skin surrounds me. Sorry, I just breathed in my own hair.
I'll just keep.
That's the problem with having long hair, is that it's not always the most friendly thing to sing with.
Metal Blade. You ready?
That was really embarrassing. Live shows, you gotta love them. In the glow of the firelight, I see day turning into night. I see you lying next to me. The warmth of your skin surrounds me. Your loving embrace sustains me. I feel your heart beating in my soul. This is my name on your lips. To feel the sweetness of your fingertips. To drown in the love I see in your eyes. In the glow of the firelight, come be with me tonight. Bliss is my name on your lips. To feel the sweetness of your fingertips. To drown in the love I see in your eyes. In the glow of the firelight, come be with me tonight. Oh, in the firelight, dream with me tonight.
As you're right. You're right.
It's fine. It's just my hair is really wispy, and then every so often I'll I'll be breathing in as I'm trying to sing, and it'll go like this. And of course, it's so long, like it goes like.
Hey, Karen, I'll take some of that hair.
I know Mark keeps telling me that. He just, I'll take some. There's no more. You have more than enough.
Sucks to be you with all that hair.
Yeah.
That was a great recovery, by the way.
Yeah. Well.
And thanks for filling in while we were waiting for.
Yeah. No, let's. So you wrote that song for him.
I wrote that song for him.
That's a love song.
Yeah, it sure is.
I wrote some songs for my wife, but I didn't say it was for her. No, but it's for her. It's just I just there's a song that I wrote about. I call it Sunny Afternoon.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about sunny afternoon, remembering the days we had our ups and downs, and
Yeah.
we'll always turn around.
Interesting. That we have that we have a season, what we call a song that goes kind of through the seasons, and it's about. It's not necessarily our relationship, but about our relationship that goes through different seasons and different.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the one I just wrote?
No, I was thinking about Only Smile I Knew.
Ah.
But that one that you just wrote is really cool.
I was going to say, because that's not about our relationship. That's
No,
about
no,
something
no,
else.
no,
But
no.
Cool.
that one's not being released yet, though.
Yeah.
Soon.
Soon. There are songs in the works as
Yeah, there are.
we
There's
speak.
lots of them.
So what's the count? What's the total number of songs that you have so far?
It's probably going to be in the hundreds. I mean, we have, it's as you said for that online concert series, we did 100 of our favourite songs, but we probably left out.
At the time that we went through that back catalogue, we stopped counting at 250, but we've been continually writing since then.
Yeah.
So we're well over.
So if it
we're
ever
well
came
over
down to
300.
they needed a series of albums, we could.
Yeah.
We would
If
have
anybody
no
wants
problem.
to buy songs, it's just like, we've got a catalog. Yeah.
Well, that's great. So I just wanted I noticed a few people are online. They're making comments, and looks like my little scheme on Facebook is working, because what I did is I restreamed this stream onto Facebook, but I had a whole bunch of stuff on there that tells people to click onto
this.
a link to go to YouTube.
Nice.
So
That's good.
I think they're watching it and they notice it, and it's sort of like a little instructions. I actually pasted myself a little finger on there. Press this button.
Nice.
So I see more comments are coming up on there. It's great. It's working. Well, I should do something with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's jam a little bit.
What shall we do?
So-
Do you want to do the summertime, or shall we do?
Do you feel like doing this? Do you feel like doing our version of
Which
Summertime?
which
Yeah,
you fancy
no,
out of the ones that we did? Summertime,
Yeah,
is that okay?
all right.
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay.
Peter does a great version of this song because
does, when he was sitting-
yeah, because he
yeah.
was playing it with
Very jazzy
bass
kind of,
player, and
yeah.
it was a very jazzy and stuff. But so we're gonna take our version of Summertime and
Which is more rhythm and blues. It's
yeah
kind of more.
step it up just a little bit.
Okay.
Summertime and the living is easy. The fish are jumping and the cotton's so high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your mom is good looking. Hush, pretty baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. You're gonna spread your little wings and fly to the sky. And on that morning, you know that nothing can harm you. With your mommy and your daddy standing by. Summertime, when the living is easy, the fish are jumping and the cotton so high, oh so high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your mommy's good looking. So hush, pretty baby, don't you cry. Don't you cry, don't you cry, don't you cry now, don't you cry, with your mommy and your daddy standing by.
Oh.
I'm gonna cut it all off, I swear.
Yeah. We're ahead now, definitely.
Oh, my apologies. Wow. That is just.
Do you need a tissue?
No! You know, like it's like when you swallow a bug when you're. Wow.
I actually do that. I do that quite a bit, you know, and I go in the woods and the forest and I'm running along and and these bugs go right into my throat once in a while. And I'm choking on them.
Well,
Get this kind of, and apparently hair will do that to you too.
well, it does, and
Swallow your hair again?
yeah, it
Yeah,
just
she swallowed
because
it.
I swing my head around and it's and
Wow. Every time I swing my head around, I lose another handful of hair. Just lands on the ground somewhere.
Yeah, do you want to cut it back? I think that was a good idea.
yeah. I wonder if I can wrap this thing around and make it.
'Cause I might have some hair clips. Like a shower cap.
yeah. It's not a great look, is it?
Oh man, I tell you, my apologies to everybody out there.
So what are some of the comments that we have?
Well,
yeah,
so far
Jenny.
nobody's mentioned
girl
anything
with the
except that they're really loving the music.
Good.
We're getting some
there's,
good comments. That was super cool. Jenny was saying super cool.
Yeah, so I see Jenny and I see Terry. And who else? Who else can we say hello to? That's it for now. Well,
Let him sing a song just so I
Yeah,
can.
just so you can.
yeah. I have some medicines.
Oh, I don't need any. It's literally just swallowing.
No, I mean medicine. I mean like whiskey
Oh,
or
whiskey.
wine.
That's okay. I'm good.
Yeah. What shall I do then? Like Two-Face?
Sing one of our duet songs. Just sing a where you're taking
Right.
lead.
Right. What when you do only smile
Only
on
smile
you?
I knew.
Okay. Right. So this is this was a song that we kind of mentioned a little while ago about the seasons of a relationship where it goes
Yeah.
through different.
Okay.
Summer came and gave to me the only smile I knew. Winter took that smile away and left me cold and blue. Where can I find a love that makes the sun shine once more? Someone to take these locks and chains away from my door. Set me free, I need love. Help me to see what I'm dreaming of. Sometimes you could make me feel we could always be. Yet easily you fled the scene and vanished silently. Just like a scene from some old-fashioned film in black and white. We spoke our lines and played out our parts under the lights. Set me free, I need love. Help me to see what I'm dreaming of. Shouting out our fears and laughter through the autumn wind. Through the years we made the stage to play our drama in. Then something broke, left our pride shattered on the floor. We turned and saw how much we loved each other once more. Set us free, we need love. us to see what we're dreaming of. Set us free, we need love. Help us to see what we're dreaming. Watching all the blossoms fall in the morning light. You smile at me and I take your hand and everything seems right.
So,
Lovely.
and tell me about that song.
We are actually going through a really crappy time time in our life. I mean, you have to look at the nature of our of our relationship. It's been tumultuous since day one, because here it is, you have two people who lived on opposite sides of the planet, 11,500 kilometers away, and we're trying to make a relationship work, long distance. And after him and I met in person and we decided, okay, we do want this to be a thing, how the heck are we going to manage this? And for the following 6 years, it was a barrage of air miles and
Yeah, lots of air miles.
yeah,
that's for
frequent
sure.
flyer miles, going back and forth, trying to online phone, massive phone bills, trying to keep it going. And then Mark's job found him a position here in Canada, which was a huge blessing. So he moved to Vancouver in 2013. And of course, as with anything, the first time that you're actually living together for
It makes it more interesting.
yeah, for a day-to-day, a constant day-to-day basis. And it's not like, okay, well, in a month I'm leaving and going home. Like that month would be over, and then there'd be another month would be over, and another month would be over. It's just like, okay, you're actually staying.
Yeah.
You're not leaving now. So now, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now we actually have to learn to live together long term. And so yeah, it's trying to figure all that out. And I still had kids at home at that stage of the game. So that was that was enjoyable, because of course you got teenagers that are just like, who is this guy?
But we all get along fine now.
We all do. We all get along really.
How many kids do you have?
Between the two of us, we have 4.
Okay.
And
you have two
one
and
back
you
in
got
New
two.
Zealand, and then we have 3 here in Canada.
Yeah.
There's a new show on one of the channels called Kids Ruin Everything.
Oh no,
They did not ruin everything.
No,
they
they brought you
definitely
together.
can't sing. But and between the two of us, we've got 4 kids and we've got 5 grandkids, and
Like, did you guys come to the Vancouver area together? Or
No, it's
you're already here.
yeah, I
Karen
was
still-
already
Karen was
here.
at
Like
home.
the early part of our relationship, where I was in New Zealand, was the early part, and it took us. We were together there for 4 months, and we figured out, okay, well, we need to keep this going, because it's not.
So you're pretty lucky to be able to find a job.
Yeah, and with the same company, they just transferred them.
Wow.
Yeah, they did
Over,
an
so-
intercompany transfer from the same company in New Zealand to Vancouver. So it's,
Yeah.
What company is that? Maybe I should work-
Fujitsu Consulting.
Fujitsu Consulting.
I'm a
Yeah.
computer guy.
Well, maybe I should work for them.
Yeah.
In New Zealand.
Yeah.
Well, I was
There
a
you go.
computer guy too before I worked for NAV Canada.
Right.
I was the project manager that designed the engineering data system
All right.
that they use for all the control towers to track all the engineering drawings and
Wow.
Nice.
That would be a
when they build things. So, yeah,
big
2009.
project. Yeah.
Well, it's been 10 years. So 2019, decided to just not continue doing that and just play music.
Yeah, well, I would, much as I enjoy my job, I would love to be able to just say, nah, I'll just play music now.
Oh,
Doesn't pay enough for me, unfortunately.
I'm not a computer nerd, but I did raise one, so
Yeah, well,
Well,
There
you
go.
feed them enough. You feed them enough Nintendo and stick them in front of the computer all day long, and eventually the computer will take over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we become cybernetic beings after a while.
Yeah. Well, I'm still sitting on the computer every day trying to, do.
Well, everyone is at the
What-
moment. I mean, until we start to, becomes a lot easier to get out and.
Yeah, I'm still doing like all the website marketing, like writing, or if I'm recording or doing anything, it's all on the computer.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there. It's the same. Physically, there's no change
Yeah.
from my previous job. Yeah.
Well, Karen's doing a lot of work on the computer. She's doing a lot of education.
Yeah.
Well, it's because we volunteer our time for the youth open stage. So,
What's a youth open stage?
so we teach kids ages 13 to 19 stagecraft, how not to swallow their hair when they're singing.
Yeah.
Songwriting, sound. We have a professional sound guy who teaches them the sound technician part. Basically, if they have an inkling about that they want to be a performer in a musical way, then we teach them what it is that they need to do and they need to know. And yeah, we've been doing that for 7 years now, 7 years now.
Yeah.
So, which
Well,
is
speaking of teaching, you went to the BCIT business music course.
yep.
Yeah.
Well, I still am going to BCIT, but yeah.
Oh.
I've been through the music business, the first 3 parts of the music business course that Chris teaches, and then there's other music business courses and applications that they teach. So my goal is to get a diploma in music business. So
Oh, okay. I'm planning to do the same thing. Yeah.
no, it's
So-
fun. It's fun. Good times. BCIT is a good school.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
in Chris's course right now. Unfortunately, it's every Wednesday night.
Ah,
And I'm with the Rotary, and Rotary meets every Wednesday night. Yeah, so been missing a lot of meetings.
well,
Oh well. But-
short term. It's priorities, right?
Yeah, well, I was hoping that the 101 is over, but it starts off, 1 week later, and it's continuing to be Wednesday night. So I'll just keep going, I guess. And I get gigs on Wednesday night too. So Chris says that if you have gigs, it's okay. You can miss the class if you have a gig.
Yeah.
So I have a gig. So when I'm coming back, I'm gonna register for the second semester.
Mhm.
The first day, I can't attend because I got a gig. Oh well.
That's all right. It's
Yeah.
a good course. He's a really good instructor. So
Yeah, I enjoy the class. So I'm gonna stick with it and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe you can tell me how things are like for the rest of the classes. Maybe borrow the notes from you.
oh no. One thing Chris will tell you gotta do the work.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's and it's great because all that work you have to do anyway. All the
Yep.
stuff that you have to.
His favorite saying in class: "What gets in the way of the work is the work."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We sometimes we just procrastinate.
Yeah.
Thinking that's especially when you don't have to be at somewhere, when you don't have to do it. When you have a regular job, you have there's things you have to do.
Yeah.
But when you're doing that stuff for yourself, and it's music, and I just found that it's hard because you have to motivate yourself to want to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's part of your dreams, right? I mean, you have to make priority for what's important to you, and it's a really hard habit to learn because we all have been trained. Got to do this. Got to do this. Got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard to all of a sudden take yourself out of that way of thinking and go, no, actually, I need to do this. If I want my music to go somewhere, I need to do this. And
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you have to determine what you need to do. So this is something that I found difficult is because you need to prioritize what you need to do. There's
Next,
so many things that you need to do.
level 2.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Well,
Level 2.
so the course helps.
It does.
Yeah, a lot of things, because before I got into it, I got in. I was just doing a lot of things, but I think it's good. It's still good to just get involved, just try all kinds of different things. I just what I do is I just keep asking. I keep asking questions. I tell people, hey, I'm not an expert. I'm just learning.
I don't think you ever stop learning, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
There's always new things you can learn.
yeah, go to people and just and try different things. So.
Yep.
This is the album
I saw that
that
on your post.
that I have. It took 8 months to make this.
Yeah.
8 months for the vinyl to get delivered because
Ah,
there's a back order. There's a lot of artists are doing vinyls, like famous artists, like I forgot who. There was like 2 really like top world class artists are doing vinyl, and they are buying. They're making like hundreds of thousands.
wow.
That's why they can't keep up the demand for it. So I waited 8 months to get this out.
I wouldn't even know how to go about getting a vinyl album out there now.
Oh, I do. I know, but
Do you? Well, you're doing the course. I'd expect you to.
no, there's lots I know about that, but we don't need to do that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is. I guess I decided to make it because it's instead of making merch for shows, like a lot of bands, they make merchandise like hats and
Yep.
T-shirts and all
We
that
do.
stuff. So I thought, okay, I'll just this will be my merch instead of just hats and T-shirt.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes with my branding because none of the pictures that I have, I actually wore. I never wore T-shirts or a hat
Right.
Right.
in my show, so I can't. It was pretty hard to sell something.
That you don't wear.
You don't. That's not part of what you do, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I have to think of a different, some other merch to take with me on my shows and on road tour. So that's why I decided to make that. But it's very limited for the market. A lot of people are still. You kind of have this connoisseur market, like people that have that turntable and stereo. They're like really, they're collectors. They are,
I think it's getting more popular. It's funny. There's a big revival in vinyl. We have a little place in Mission that sells all sorts of vinyl.
Yeah.
And it's really
well. That's
cool
my
to see all that old stuff.
That's my next step. I'm gonna,
New
see if
stuff
I
and
can
old
distribute some of these to a few stores locally, and see if they, and then it's. I think it's good to have it in store. So because right now everything's online, so people have to get it delivered and all that stuff. But I think store is good. It kind of builds the economy too. Get people out to. So if somebody wants to buy this, if a store have it, I can get them to go to that store.
Yeah.
And at the same time maybe buy a few other ones at the store, and so yeah. Well, let's do another song.
That sounds like a grand idea.
What would you like to do, my darling?
How would you like to do Old New Ways?
Old new ways. All right. We will do that. I'll put my pick down. Wind blew the leaves in the forest of dreams, singing the song of the wild. The songbirds exploded their chorus opposing, waterfalls splashed on the rocks. Quietly watching from hilltops so overgrown, winds were planning their world.
Somewhere inside of them, taking control of them, nature was winking its eye, thinking the thoughts of the old new ways. Thinking the thoughts, thinking the thoughts, watching the ways, watching the ways, seeing a change, seeing a change, watching it stay the same. The plane landed down with the passengers frowning, missing the blue of the sky. The cars passed the trains and the hissing of rain shimmering over the road. The meeting of masses in concrete crevasses seemed to be humming a tune. The smoke from the chimneys choking the families out in a park for a walk. Back to the workaday treadmill. Thinking the thoughts, thinking the thoughts, watching the ways, watching the ways, seeing a change, seeing a change, watching it stay the same.
Wonderful.
So what inspired that song?
Well, it was written by me, so I'm going to have to
Yeah.
answer that. It's about the way things. The basic thought on it is the more things change, the more things stay the same. But the idea was the first verse is all about the human race beginning off and planning its world, and then how complex and how amazing and how vibrant the natural world was. And then later on we see that there's this vibrant human world, created world, that's kind of the same thing but different, but it's sort of the same and it's the
Dragging people
different, yeah.
down
So it's like nature is still nature, even if it's concrete and buildings and cars and stuff, it's still nature. It's still doing the same thing.
Yeah,
I like that.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like philosophy.
Yeah,
There's a
well,
lot of our
we
songs
do
that are
like to be a
awful like
little
philosophy.
philosophical every now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our next song is pretty philosophical.
Is it?
Philosophical?
Falafel.
Falafel? That's a food. That's something that you eat.
Falafel my horse.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we doing to do next?
Let's
Or-
do Knuckle and a Clown.
Knuckle. Oh, right. This is a little bit about the.
No. Don't give it away.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
just
do
do it. Then
the
we can
song
talk
first.
about it
Talk
afterwards.
about that.
Song first, talk later. Can I have a little sip of water? Can I have a sip of your water? There we go. We are married, so therefore
You're going to get my germs.
we're married. We share the same.
True enough.
Yes.
Here's a sovereign.
Here's a crown, here's a shilling to keep your head down. Old money is the best money between a knuckle and a clown. Not your problem, keep your eyes to the ground. Not forgotten and not so loud. Not your problem, eyes to the ground. Here's a dollar, here's a dime, here's a nickel to keep you in line. New money is the best money to make you waste your time. Not your problem, keep your eyes to the ground. Not forgotten and not so loud. Not your problem, keep your eyes to the ground.
Old money, new money, no money at all. Old money, new money, no money at all.
Old money, new money, no money at all. Old money, new money, no money at all. Old money, new money, no money at all. One day you'll see that there's no price tag on your soul. Here's a follow, here's a like, here's a hashtag to share your life.
No
Money is needed when your world is all online. Not your problem, keep your eyes to the ground. Not forgotten and not so loud. Not your problem, keep your eyes to the ground.
Old money, new money, no money at all. Old money, new money, no money at all.
Old money, new money, no money at all. Old money, new money, no money at all. Old money, new money, no money at all. One day you'll see that there's no price tag on your soul. Old money, new money, no money at all. One day you'll see that there's no price tag on your soul.
Well, it's because it's sitting. I'm not,
Do you need to stand up? Would that help you at all?
well, it's not. It's all good.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I
Oh,
have to apologize.
Oh well,
because
it's
I'm
just one of those things.
Totally embarrassed
It's
about
not-
the fact
Just
that I've
need to
been
break
doing
out.
nothing but coughing.
yeah. Well, it's my fault. I should have the wine and
Yeah,
everything
well,
ready.
I'm sure wine would help.
Some people
It's
say
just one of
wine
those things,
cures
once
everything.
You've got that horrible tickle in your throat from
Yeah.
swallowing something.
Well,
you
it's just
can't get
because
rid of it.
yeah. Well, that's exactly
Well-
what it is. It's just that it's still, it's still there.
That's what the whiskey is for. Tickle. yeah. Oh,
Well-
how are we doing? Let's see.
It's pretty much near the end, I think.
Yeah, I'm getting a little hungry.
Yeah. All right. Shall we
Yeah.
do?
So,
Shall we
so do the last song and
Yeah. Do you want to do one
wrap
together?
it
Do you
up?
want to do
Yeah,
the
let's do something together.
House of Rising, young Trevor? What did you want to do?
I'm sure if you want to do that, you can sing that. Sure.
What key is the house in again? A?
A minor. Yeah.
Can I play a D harmonica along with that? Do you think?
You can.
Try.
Try.
Take the cape off because that will take it from C minor to.
So A minor.
So-
is,
oh.
Well, A minor is C, so D
Yeah.
would be B minor. Perhaps if I put this. Would that work? Is that the only harmonica you
Which
have?
one?
No,
Which
you-
one?
Are
No,
you changing the
You're
key in
just
which
trying
I'm
to figure out
singing
which
this?
No, no, no.
which
A
harmonica.
minor's, yeah, would
A
be the
minor.
one before, then it would be
So,
G, G,
Yeah,
A.
yeah.
G?
C,
Yeah.
C or G. Well,
You
I
could
don't
try
know.
G.
Not sure how harmonicas work, but
Well,
the
let's-
related is G, isn't it? Is
So-
C.
try G, Gary.
I'll try in G. I think
G,
G's the one.
Okay. So, folks, this is we're gonna do a last song, and thank you for joining us.
I'm sorry.
And I hope Karen feels better. I'm gonna give her some medicine.
It's not that. She just,
Oh,
needs,
I'm just gonna shave my head. That's
she just needs to keep her hair out of her mouth.
Or maybe what do you call those? Hairspray.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
well,
need some hairspray.
yeah.
It's like so nothing moves.
yeah.
it's just gelled
it's
together.
just static, and
Yep.
I gotta learn to sit still when I sing. So.
Right.
Okay.
Down. You ready? There is a house in New Orleans, and they call the rising sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. And my father, he was a gambling man down in that house in New Orleans. Well, the only thing a gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk. The only time that he'll be satisfied is when he's all drunk.
My mothers, tell your children not to do what he has done. Live a life of sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. He's got one foot on the platform, another on the train. He's going back to New Orleans to wear that ball and chain.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. God, I know I'm one,
Yes, he is.
maybe two.
Yes, he is.
Let me be free, let me be free. of the house in
In
New Orleans. Nice. Nice bit
Well
of
done.
hammer.
Way
Nice
to
bit
go,
of
guys.
there.
Oh, thank you. That was
was fun.
fun. So, what's next? There's any tours, shows, concerts?
Yeah. Well, we also run the Mission Coffee House concert series in Mission. So the next show, and we will be opening for Leah Barley on the 19th of March. And the next show after that is April 23rd. We will be opening for Caden Knudsen and Aaron Connaughton, which will be great. So yeah, there's a show in March, April, May, and June. And then this summer, we're hoping to hear back from a couple of festivals so we can get those nailed down pretty quick. And then end of July, we are hopefully, barring any World War disasters, we will be off to the UK.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, and we will be gone to England, Wales, Ireland, Scotland, France, and Germany, and then home. So we'll be gone for a while, probably 8 weeks. So that's our. Plus, we do the youth open stage every Monday night for the kids, and so we're busy.
Yeah. Where's the youth open stage?
Youth open stage happens up at the Clark Theatre
Oh, okay.
in Mission currently.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
which is great.
That's where the coffee house is too, right?
It is where the
Uh-huh.
coffee house is.
Yeah.
The two separate.
Pretty much.
So the Clark Theatre Foundation, they've got all sorts of different things in there for their venue for people to have shows at. So the coffee house happens in the cafetorium. The youth open stage actually happens in the green room of the main
Theatre.
Clark Theatre, which their green room is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's a big
Um,
place.
yeah, but it's a good
And
it's
then-
a good
and then
size for the
there's
kids.
The actual theater. Itself.
And then there's the actual theater there itself, which is also huge.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mark and Karen, and so glad they can join us. Gary, you want to put on this?
Next week, maybe. You want
yeah,
to talk
next-
about next week?
My friend Stone Poet is going to be coming in, so
oh,
I'm getting-
Sherelle and
yeah,
company,
and Mark
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Scott. So I'm bringing more and more people in.
Yeah.
So I usually have one guest, and so now you got two, and now we're gonna have three.
It's like rabbits, they're breeding.
We're expanding. But next show is gonna be next Sunday. I won't be doing a show because I'm on tour. I'm on the island
nice.
on tour next week, so
Nice.
I won't be doing a show Sunday, unfortunately. So it'll be the Sunday after that, and lots of other new artists coming in. Yeah, and the Stone Poets coming in, and
And hopefully not
So-
choking on their hair. My apologies again. That's just,
You're forgiven.
Not much you can do about it. When
I know, but it's
but this is good. This is good practice. So
Yeah.
next, when you're doing,
Yeah, that's what
doing a
makes
show here.
live entertainment so
Yeah,
entertaining.
They've been doing this for a long time, and it's just that's the first
That's
time.
the first time it's
that's the
really,
first time
really
that it's
choked you like
been-
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
normally it's like a little cough and then it's done, but that really, really got to the back of your throat,
Because I
didn't it?
swallowed a lot of it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this,
Well,
so this is
that's
in
it.
2 Sundays, not next Sunday, but in the Sunday after next.
Yeah, Sunday after.
Yeah.
So actually, it's going to be the Sundays after. It's the 13th and then the 20th. The next Sunday after that, there's I have a saxophone player coming in.
Oh, nice.
So actually, the Stone Poets are not coming until April.
Yeah, that's right. I kind of remember that
Yeah, April,
now that you
and I have
mentioned
more
it.
people.
I think
I'm
it's
booked
there
up
in
to
April.
almost May for guests coming in.
Nice.
It's so fun. And
Well, it's great that you can do this kind of thing for you. It's really nice to have live music in your home and then be able to like send it out over the airwaves for everybody.
Yeah,
Or
this
the
is
internet,
what
I should say, not the airwaves, but there you go.
I just wanted to network with people because I
That's a
haven't
good
really
idea.
been in playing with. Nobody knows me, And
There's a song, You Don't Know Me, isn't there?
yeah, so it's like it's that situation. So this is the best way. You know, I started this before I took Chris's class, but in Chris's class, it's exactly what he said. You know, just network with people. Just-
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. That's right.
That
The
is
more
correct.
people you talk to and play with, the more opportunities there are for you
Yeah.
to find things that you excite, like more people, and get a synergy going. It's great.
So
It's,
instead of going out, I just bring people in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to travel so much. You know, petrol's expensive these days. Sorry, gas. I'm from the UK.
Okay. So good night,
All right.
and thanks for coming.
Thanks for having
And,
us.
uh,
very
Good night,
much.
everybody. All right. I'll just sign off. I'll sign it off right now. Good night, everybody. That was a great show, by the way.
Oh.
You guys just sounded wonderful, I thought.
Thank you.
So, sometime we'll see in April, we'll have the Stone Poets. That'll be pretty awesome, too. Goodbye, everybody.